welcome to Arts Live here from Purple Bubble on a kind of changeable Monday afternoon. So, last week, sorry, I'm just laughing because Spiff's making a lot of funny noises out of the office there.
It was the stuffing, chicken and stuffing.
Stuffing, oh, is it repeating?
Yeah, repeating. It's screaming at us.
Spiff's regurgitating his chicken stuffing. Never mind. Afternoon, guys. We are actually here to do arts on this lovely Monday afternoon and not just talk about Spiff's dinner. But, yes, welcome. And what are we doing today? So last week we did our drawing skills. I hope you can see up on the top there. I've still got all of my kind of working that I did last week. And I did mention that we might do a development on from the drawing, or we might do something with card and collage. And I've come in this morning, and the lovely Joy has been working on a project for Purple Bubble, where she's creating this lovely tree. Now you can't see it, it's over in the background there. You can just about see the roots there. So she's creating this display for autumn. And she was painting and cutting out all of these leaves. And that inspired me and got us thinking about what we did with Poi Lee back in March for spring equinox. So back in the spring, or the start of spring, Poi, one of our workshop tutors, did this lovely session for us for creating these crowns for kings and queens of spring. So I'll put this on. This is the one I made for myself, and I thought it was great fun. And we cut out all of these leaves and flowers and things to make these crowns. And I really enjoyed that session with Poi. And I enjoyed it so much so, I'll just put that down, that for Easter, inspired by Poi, I kind of took those cut leaves and flowers ideas and we did this Easter wreath. Now, obviously spring and Easter is all about birth and life and everything waking up and coming alive. Sap rising, indeed, Spiff. Whereas autumn, what we're going into now, is about everything kind of going sleepy and going dormant, and we're coming into darker nights and colder mornings and things like that. And the Spring Kings and Queens session was done for spring equinox, and it just so happened that last Wednesday it was autumn equinox. So last Wednesday was the official start of autumn, and autumn lasts right up until winter solstice. And winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the longest night, is the official start of winter, and that's December the 21st. That's Yule. So for autumn equinox, I thought we'd take the idea of our cut leaves, our paper leaves, and we would do an autumnal green man mask. So for anybody who's not sure what a green man is, if you go to garden centres or if you go to churches actually, you will see these carved stone masks of faces which are all made out of leaves, and that's the green man. So he's kind of like a mythical spirit of the woods. And I thought we'd do an autumnal one with lovely autumnal colours. So the things you're going to need today, I'm just going to scroll down and see if anybody's commenting. If you are watching, please do say hello and leave something in the comments, and I will try and respond, because Facebook has changed everything round and it's rather difficult to see things on the laptop. So I'm just going to see if I can add a column. No. Remove a column. I was trying to see if I could move the comments around to make it easier to see them. There. Right. I can see the comments now, so that will help. So yes, the things you're going to need today. You're going to need some lovely colourful cards. So we've got lovely autumnal colours here. So I've got everything from reds and oranges and yellows to these lovely autumnal browns. You're going to need a white piece of card to make your mask shape out of. Now, I have very quickly painted my mask orange just so that when I'm sticking things on, if I have any gaps between my leaves, you can't see the white of the card very quickly. So if you want to do that, you'll need some paint in maybe an orange or a brown colour. You're going to need scissors, a pencil, you need some felt tips if you want to add some more decoration. You're going to need some Pritt stick to stick your leaves down, and then you're going to need something to make a hole, 2 holes in your mask, and some elastic. It's just some shearing elastic here, some fine elastic, and that's just to go around your head to hold your mask onto your face. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll move my mask out of the way. I'll show you how I made my mask. And it doesn't have to be precise. And you don't have to do a full face mask if you don't want to. So if you want, you could do a half face mask where it just comes down to the ridge of your nose. Okay, so to make our mask, what we're going to do is take a piece of A4 card and we're going to fold it in half long ways. So you want to make a really long, skinny shape like this. So it's just A4 card, and I've folded it in half, long ways. So the 2 long edges we've put together to fold in half. And then we're going to take our pencil and we're going to roughly draw kind of like an egg shape. So it's slightly flatter and wider at the top and slightly narrower at the bottom. So it's like an upside down egg, if you can see that. Maybe if I turn it that way around, it's more obvious. So we're just going to very quickly draw a shape. And as I say, it doesn't have to be exact, but I'll hold that up and hopefully you can see. Maybe I should do it with my felt tip and that'll be easier for you to see. I'll just trace that line round. And hold that up again. So that's the shape that we've got. And then we're going to take our scissors and simply cut that out. So it's very quick. So then when you open it out, hopefully you've got this kind of upside down egg shape. So that way around it would be an Easter egg to decorate. This way around, hopefully you're making a face. I'll move that out the way. So our face, we need our eyes to be roughly in the middle. So if we draw a line across the middle, like so, and then we're going to put 2 almond shapes. So if I draw the eyes in like that. So I've done a line through the middle of my face and I've drawn an almond shape for one eye, okay? Now you can knit the card together and just snip very quickly to get into your paper. Hi Abby, are you logging in from home? Oh you are, yes, because I saw you on lunchtime meeting. Yes, we are in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. What am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I am taking a group out on a trip, and then that's tomorrow afternoon, and then Wednesday morning I think I'm taking a group out. Out. Okay, so we're just cutting that eye shape out, okay? So that almond shape, if you need to get someone to give you a hand, that's absolutely fine. You can do that. But to make sure that your mask is nice and even, what we do is we fold this back in half again, okay? And that eye shape where we've already cut out, we can take our pencil and follow the lines, and it will mean that our eyes will be the same either side. So again, I'm just going to knit that paper together and snip it to get in. I like the metal bridge.
We used to take photo back in the day when we were all similar to community.
We went a little while back for Mark's dad's birthday. It was lovely. So I'm just mirroring what I did on the other side and cutting that eye out. As I say, if you need someone to give you a hand with the scissor work, it's absolutely fine, because cutting out the middle of paper can be a bit tricky. So there we have our mask shape with our eye holes. Excuse me. Sorry, Mark and I have both been full of cold over the past few days. And I'm just getting over my cough. But anyway, the next thing we need to do is make a little mouth hole. So you can make your mouth shape however you like. It could be open, it can be smiling, it could be frowning because it's cold and winter. But again, you can fold your mask shape in half so that you get both sides of your mouth an even shape. And I'm going to put a kind of a lip shape to mine. If I hold that up, hopefully you can see. And then we're just going to take our scissors and cut out that shape with it folded in half so that we get the lips the same shape either side. And that is how we create our mask shape. So, as I say, what I've done with mine is I've painted mine orange so that if there's any gaps between my paper leaves, you won't be able to see the weight of the card so much. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a hole punch, but you can use anything to make the holes in the sides of your mask. And just by the eyes, I'm going to punch a hole either side. So I've just punched holes either side. Maybe if I do it that way you can see here and here, and that's where we're going to put our elastic in. So this elastic I've got is quite thin, so I might double mine up just to make sure that it's secure. And what you want is you want it slightly shorter than the distance that it needs to go around from hole to hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my elastic through one hole, put my mask to my face, and hopefully measure up. That seems a little bit tight. I'm going to do it a little bit longer. And that seems like a good fit for me. So I'm just going to trim that off with my scissors and then tie it into the other hole. I'm just going to do a knot in the end. A bit fiddly. As I say, if you're logging in, do say hello. And if you've got any questions about what we're making, do ask away. And remember, you can always watch the video back after live has finished. They all go into our Arts Live section that we try and keep up to date here with the tags. So if you go into the video section of our page, you can look up the different subjects. So you can look at all of Nick's sports videos in one space, and you can look in, you can look up the arts and things. Oh, David's here. Hello, David. It's nice to have you. It started raining here at Heathlands. It was quite nice and sunny before, but it is the start of autumn, and that's why we're making an autumnal green man mask. So we've got lovely autumn colours in card here. And we're going to make a mask of a green man in autumn. So I've made my mask template first, and that fits on me like so. And I've painted it, David, so it's got a nice base. So the next thing we need to do, I'm just going to have a drink of tea. David's saying it's sunny in Annan. Oh, I'm jealous. You're over the water as well. Annan's lovely. I was there a couple of weeks ago for a wedding. Absolutely beautiful up there. So, as I was saying, we've got card and pens and paper and scissors and glue to make our mask. The next thing we need to do is we need to cut out lots of leaves. Now, as you can see, hopefully, on the table here, I've already been cutting out a load of leaves before the start of this video. Simply because to cut out, I would say 50 or so leaves, something like that, it does take a little while. It's a repetitive task, but it's not a difficult one. So what I thought I would do is show you how I created the leaves. So we've got these lovely bubbly ones. I'll hold these up like that. And these are kind of like my oak leaves. So we've got quite a few oak trees here at Heathlands. So I love cutting out things like oak leaves. I'm just trying to decide which one to show you. So if we take a piece of card, all you need to do is kind of make this wibbly wobbly curly line. And I'll show you the shape that I'm making. And I'll stand up and show you the shape I've drawn. So this is my oak leaf shape. So you can see I've just done these wiggly, wormy lines. And the oak leaves are the ones that take the most time to cut out. So what I generally do is I cut out roughly from the card first. Put that back to one side. And then I cut the details in. And what I do is, instead of trying to move the scissors so much, I kind of move the card to get those nice rounded lobes and shapes of the oak leaf shape. So you're going to need to cut out as many leaves as you can stand. Now the other option with this is, if you don't want to cut out your own leaves, you could go to a craft shop like Hobbycraft down the road from us here. Other craft shops are available.
They are. But I'd say not at the range of products they can provide at competitive prices, aren't they?
Yeah, what you could do is you could go to a craft store and you can buy packs of leaves, kind of like fabric-y kind of things. You can buy packs of leaves that you could use to make your mask as well. In fact, we might have some here at Heathlands. So what I'm talking about is packs of things like this. So these are crafting leaves. They're kind of plasticky and fabricy, and you can get them in all sorts of different styles and different shapes. So if you wanted to do a tropical kind of leaf mask, you could buy tropical leaves like this, which would be very lush, very kind of Moana-esque, if you're into that kind of thing. Or you can get autumnal leaves like this. And they come in all different sizes as well, which is great. I'll tidy them up after, guys. Oh, I've gained a feather. So yeah, you can do it by cutting out your own leaves, or you could go and buy packs of leaves. So once we've cut out all of our oak leaves, which are the lovely lobe-shaped ones, the other shape that we can do is kind of like a rounded diamond. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. And I don't even draw these out. David's saying it's a very nice mask and you'd love to come down here. Heathlands, David, is just down the road from Gretna, so we are just over the border, but we're north of Carlisle. So, do you know where Asda is in Carlisle, the big Asda up at the top of town? If you take the road out towards Rockcliffe and the back roads to Gretna, we're up near there. If you ever want to come for a visit, log into our website and find our phone number, and you can ring the office, because we always love to have visitors. And if you've the opportunity to come, we would love to have you. Right, so making leaves. As I say, I don't actually draw out making the basic leaf shapes. So hopefully you can see there, I've got my basic leaf shape. All I do is I put my scissors in and I cut a curve, and then I'll put my scissors in and cut a curve going the other way. And that is all we do to make our leaves. So I've got quite a lot of brown and a bit of yellow. I might do a little bit more orange, I think. Yeah, do a few more orange. So hopefully you can see where I've been cutting all my leaf shapes out. And literally it is just me going in and cutting curves round to match each other. And you keep doing that until you think you've got enough. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you was how with your basic leaf shapes, you can create and add texture and interest. So I'll hold up two different ones here. So this brown leaf here, my sun's gone really bright again. Can you see that I've added this texture? And what I've done is I've cut little lines into the leaf. So I'll show you how I do that. I wonder if I drop this blind, it might make it easier for you guys to see. That's better. So, I get my scissors and I come round and hopefully I can show you. Starting at the top of the leaf, where I want the top to be, I'm just going to put little snips in parallel lines, going towards the centre. It's a bit like creating a paper feather as well, which I know we've done with Helen Walsh. So I'm just putting these lovely little lines in, snips, and then to create the texture, I'm kind of just going to fan that out to kind of create this lovely 3D effect. So that's how we do the snipped leaves. The next one I was going to show you is how to create this kind of textured edge leaf. So you can see I've got these little, if it'll focus, got these little snips out of the edges. And all we do for that, we take our leaf, and from the edge, you're just going to snip out little triangles pointing towards the middle of the leaf. And just work all the way along until you're happy with the desired effect. And then we turn it round and we'll do the same on the other side. So it's very quick and you don't have to be precise about it, because you've got to remember, leaves are organic, natural things. We don't have regular straight lines and we don't have uniformity so much in nature.
Oh, definitely not.
Unless you're looking at Fibonacci stuff.
All right.
So the Fibonacci sequence is the theory of exponential progression, where things double in size and spirals work outwards and things. So if you look at things like seashells, yes, and succulent plants and things like that. So it's funny talking about seashells, because Catherine was saying that if you go over to Allenby and that, it's one of the few places in the world where you can find left-handed dog whelks.
That just sounds like
it's really specific, isn't it? Well, you know, Catherine's father-in-law used to work for the Natural History Museum. He was the master of all shells.
Aye, master of shells.
He's published. He's done dozens of books. He's redoing a book this year, actually. Compendium, the ultimate compendium of shells.
Oh, what's that? Sorry, I just noticed.
So normally, talking about nature and patterns and shapes and things, in nature normally shells rotate. They twist right. So it's quite rare to get a shell that twists left.
That's true, aye.
So Allenby is one of the places where you can find left-handed dog
Maybe they're
whelks.
evil. Who knows?
So there you go. Local knowledge for local people.
Aye, well,
Anyway, so once you've got all of your leaves cut out, the other thing you can choose to do is whether you want to add any other decorations in. David's saying it's nice to hear your voice. Say a big hello to you.
Oh, who was here?
David Patterson.
All right, yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Smith says hello. There we go. So you can choose to add other decorations. So if you wanted to add some nuts or berries or conkers or anything. So what I've done is I'm just going to add a little bit of glue onto this and decorate it. What I've done is cut some shapes out to make some acorns. If I hold this up, hopefully you can see how I've cut out these little acorn shapes. And the world is your oyster, basically. You can choose to add as little or as much as you like. You can do one type of leaf shape, or you can do lots of types of leaf shapes. The leaf shape I haven't done, actually, funny enough, is a sycamore leaf, which is kind of... I'll show you how to draw one of those, actually. Which one? A sycamore leaf would be more like...
some ancient scrolls to make it up. And from our point of view, 25 years in the future, everything's a fault. It's going to help and you might see there isn't one world. Then it's obvious to every planet. You know, like that is humanity arrives spontaneously, that's right.
I've just drawn that very roughly. Hopefully you can see it. But that's the kind of shape that you would do for a sycamore leaf. I'm not going to cut sycamore leaves out. I think I've done enough for today, to be honest, for my shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to construct my mask together. So how we do that is we start at the outside and work in, because what we want to do is we want to have we want to fill it up, basically. So we're going to start off very simply by whacking a load of Pritt stick onto our mask, and I'm going to go right the way around the outside, and I'm just going to start adding leaves. Now, it might turn out that I haven't actually made enough leaves here. We won't know until I've got to the middle, basically. But you can see that you can work really very quickly adding your leaves. And I'm kind of glad that I've added lots of bits and bobs. So we're just going to keep adding the leaves to create this lovely texture. Now, one of the other things that we can do, I'm just going to do the first layer around. Okay, not got enough oak leaves on, I don't think. I might add. Some more oak leaves, because I really think they are quite sweet. So hopefully you can see the beginning of our Green Man Autumnal mask. So the next thing you can do, I'm getting quite warm in here, guys. The next thing you can do before you move on to doing like the next layer of leaves is that you can add some detail to the leaves that we haven't cut, those extra textures around, so the oak leaves and the beech leaves and things that we've done the cut work on. The ones that you haven't done that on, you can add some texture by using a felt tip, and you can pick different styles for different colours. And I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so I've got an orange pen that I've used on my orange and yellow leaves, and I'm going to use a brown pen on my plainer brown and red leaves. So I'm just using very quick lines to draw in the veins of the leaves. Have I missed anything? Yes.
But it actually was just some
I mean, you could, if you wanted, do this ahead of time. I'm just adding it now to show you how I've done it. So I'm going to hold this up now, and hopefully you'll be able to see, if I bring this in close, where I've added the details with the felt tip pens around the mask. And what we do from here is we continue on adding layers of leaves. Now, I'm actually realising that I probably haven't cut out enough leaves to finish my mask. I have cut out quite small leaves though, that's the thing. So I'm going to continue on adding leaves and Pritt stick and things. And I'll kind of try and get at least half the face done for you to show you.
Fantastic, right? So there's the dropped now it's slowly.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep adding. To get as much texture in as possible.
You sorting that? Yeah. Okay, so little brief grab then.
Right. What I'm doing, I'm just looking here about how to fill this up as much as possible. I'm just going to keep adding the texture to show you. And you can, the good thing about this is you can play about with it quite a lot. David's saying he's going to send more sun down to me. Please do, we'd love some more sunshine down here, David. Yeah. So, I'm not going to be able to fill this up for you guys on this session, but hopefully I'll be able to put enough on for you to see the idea. And the thing that's really important when you start to get to this point, guys, is that from the middle, from the nose, you kind of change direction. So it's a bit like the sun. Everything radiates outwards from the middle of the face. So in the middle, I'm just going to show you how I would change direction. And I'm pretty much out of leaves now, guys. But do you know what? I'll cut a few more out just so you guys can see from the middle how I do it. Do you know, I thought I'd done really, really, really well. David, you're saying, can I add you on Facebook? I can't add you on Facebook, but you're currently on the Heathlands Facebook page. If you go to the top of the Heathlands Facebook page, there should be a button that says message. If you message the Heathlands Facebook page, you will probably get an automated response saying that someone's not in the office or we can't talk to you right now, but it will give you a phone number to get in contact with us with. If not, ask someone to give you a hand. But all the information is on the Facebook page, and if you drop us a private message, we'll be able to get back to you. So I'm just cutting out a few extra leaves. Get some dark brown because I really enjoyed doing those ones. And I will finish this mask after I've finished the live broadcast, guys, and get back to you with how it finishes off. You got the blind closed, let the sun back in. Yeah, I closed the blind because while the sun is absolutely beautiful, David, it was making it really difficult for the camera to pick up what I was doing with the work. So I've cut out a few more leaves, and as I say, I will finish the work off and post the results later on. But we're going to tuck these things in. And I think for his nose, for the middle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my acorn that I've made. So, while we're not finished, brilliant, you've got it, that's fantastic. So, while I haven't finished my mask, it is getting there. If I hold this up, that is basically the idea of how to create our autumnal green man mask. If I lean this way, hopefully you can see that it kind of contours around my face. And it's very easy to create all of our paper leaves, and it's really, really easy to decorate, guys. So I hope you have fun with this one. And I'm going to be back next week with a different craft. I think we will be doing cardboard craft again. We will be doing scenes with cut-out cards. So we'll be doing landscapes next week with cut-out cards. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and we hope you have a lovely day wherever you are. And thank you for sending the sun, David. It has got sunny out here in North Carlisle. And we will see you all again next week at the same time, same place, in Purple Bubble for Arts Live. Thanks, guys. Bye.